I'm going to make a honey soy sticky glaze to go with some duck breast. It's such a versatile, delicious and super easy protein to cook. I'm also going to serve it with a spring onion and ginger sauce. So let's start with the duck breast. Now, once you've removed the duck from the package, make sure you dry it really, really well with some paper toweling. The drier this skin is, the crispier it's going to become. So dry that out. If you have time, I highly recommend taking it out of the pack and leaving it to air dry uncovered in the fridge. It'll go even crispier. So I also like to score the skin with a nice sharp knife, making sure I'm not going all the way through to the flesh. So we're just scoring the skin. And this will ensure the duck fat renders quite well. Okay, pan goes on the heat. Now I'm using an oven-proof pan because I am going to finish the duck off in the oven, and I've got that on a low heat. You want it to be quite low. No oil whatsoever, just a pinch of salt on both sides. Turn that over. And then skin side down into the pan. Now, you'll hear there's no sizzle, and that's the main aim. We want to slowly bring up the heat so that fat slowly renders out, and what I like to call liquid gold. It makes the most delicious potatoes, but in this context, I'm actually going to be using the duck fat to make a lovely sauce to go with our honey glaze. So it's going to be a spring onion and ginger, almost like a relish to go with it. So we need 3 or 4 spring onions. I'm just going to use the white and the lighter part of the spring onion, and then finely chop it. You want it to be as fine as possible because this is going to be quite a refreshing sauce to go on top of our duck right at the end. This is taking the concept of Hainanese chicken rice, where the chicken is served with the rice and then there's these lovely condiments on the side. So a ginger sauce and a spring onion sauce. I'm bringing that together because it just tastes so good with the duck too. And I'll also add quite a generous amount of ginger. We want about a 3 to 4 centimetre piece of ginger, and we want to finely grate this in. And to that, 1 clove of garlic. Again, just finely grating that straight into our bowl. Now you can add different flavourings to this, like sesame oil and a little bit of soy, but I'm actually going to be using that for a glaze. So I want to keep this very, very simple with those 3 ingredients, plus the duck fat and a small pinch of salt. So we'll pop that to one side. And now for our honey sticky glaze. So in a bowl, some soy sauce, along with some sesame oil, so very classic flavours, and lots of honey. Let's get that out of the bowl. Vinegar to cut through the fattiness of the duck. And I like some Shaoxing wine for this, okay? So give that a quick whisk and keep whisking until all of that honey has dissolved, and that can be popped to one side too. Now, let's have a look at our duck. You can see how much fat has rendered. I'm going to turn it over now and turn the heat on. Oh, look at that skin, already super crispy. And now I'm going to take some of this really hot fat and just pour it straight over our spring onions and ginger. And that's going to cook the ginger and the garlic and the spring onions. So this duck now goes into the oven. I do like to cook the duck in the oven so we get a lovely even cook, 190 degrees, and it's only going to take another 6 to 8 minutes. All right, the duck is out of the oven. Do allow it to rest just like any type of red meat. So this is going to rest for about 5 minutes. It will stay warm. So our delicious honey and soy glaze goes straight back into the pan. You can see there's a little bit of meat residue there, which is delicious. And we're going to give that a stir. We want to allow that to reduce slightly. I'm also going to thicken it with some corn flour. So a little corn flour and a splash of water. And we'll give that a stir. We'll just add that at the very last minute. All right, we'll leave that there for a moment. Let's have a look at the duck. Listen to this. That's what you want when it comes to duck breast. Time and time again, I just love serving and eating duck because it is so simple and the results are spectacular. And you can see none of the juices are coming out of the duck, and that's because we've allowed it to rest. So thin slices of duck. Have a look how perfectly cooked. See how it's pink all the way from the top to the bottom. That's what we're after. Nice sharp knife to cut that into little medallions. This little piece here. just delicious. All right, let's finish off our glaze. In with our corn flour, and you do want it to come back up to the boil, just so it does thicken. So turn the heat up and allow that to bubble away. And I'm serving this with some jasmine rice, just for presentation. I've placed it into a small cup like this. It looks very professional. And we'll place our duck just next to the rice, showing off how perfectly cooked it is. And we'll drizzle this hot glaze over the duck. And to freshen it all up, that gorgeous duck fat spring onion sauce, a big dollop of that over the top. And there we have it. I am so happy with the presentation of this. It's going to taste so good. You've got sticky honey and soy sauce, plus you've got that punchy ginger, garlic and spring onion sauce over the top. Everything goes so well together. Duck loves those sweet flavours, the acidity there, and then the freshness. Look, if you haven't tried duck breast before, cooking it at home is super simple. Give it a try, particularly with all these lovely Asian flavours.